Well, hello there, everyone. How are you doing? It's been a while since I played a part of this. I recorded the last part, which has gone up a few days ago, hopefully. I recorded that quite a while ago, and yeah, it's been a while since I played. My life has been busy, to say the least, and now we have some quite seismic changes in my life to go along with that business, which I'm not sure I'm entirely happy with, but more on that as we play through. I thought I'd start this part off in this little garden. It always seemed not out of place, but just like an odd feature in Pewter City. I guess maybe it was like for the older games when they couldn't fill absolutely everywhere with stuff, so they put this here. So this is my team so far. As you know, I screwed up last time I played in Viridian Forest and killed off basically all the team members. So we have the Nige, which is Nigel Jr.'s replacement. Apology, which I see Sanjeet and Nigel neglected to train, so I'm not sure they've accepted my apology. And Sanjeet Jr., who is doing very well and is definitely the team captain of this as we venture forward. So Sanjeet and Nigel will be back in the next part, and hopefully I'll have us through Mount Moon by then. Now, something interesting in my last Let's Play of Pokemon Leaf Green, which didn't get very far. We got precisely 4 parts into that, and now this is part number 5, so we've already exceeded expectations, and I've forgotten the trainers. We haven't fought, but it's the short guy. It is comfy and easy to wear. I'm currently wearing my jogging clothes. I went for a jog earlier. Walked most of the way because I drank quite a lot last night, and I've never really been drunk before, but I mean, I've been close. I mean, I've drunk enough to be close, but last night definitely went further. Didn't vomit, but went pretty far into the drunkosphere. Alright, so nothing is really strong enough to take on the trainers. Nigel Jr., or the Nige, sorry, is definitely not, so we're just going to have to take stuff on with Sanjeet Jr. and sleep. Oh, come on, hit with sleep powder, thank you. Just going to make things a little bit easier. I'm also going to set up a leech seed for... if you could stay asleep, that would be... now I vine whipped it. You know what was weird, actually? The reason I didn't just Vine Whip that from the off was because I thought Rattata resisted Vine Whip. And I think that is... I stayed up very late drinking last night. We did cover that. So Ekans is not really a good option for anyone to deal with apart from Nigel Jr. My attack is low, my defense is low too. And we'll just have to tackle our way through. This is a hangover start. I'm not really hungover. I actually managed to get away with it. I think I drank enough water through the night to kind of prevent the hangover, but this is definitely a hangover style of game. Although, sorry, I was getting a little bit panicked there because I thought we were going to have Gen 1 wrap mechanics because we were playing Leaf Green, but of course Leaf Green is advanced generation, and I'm just really fucking slow today. Youngster Ben. You're not Youngster Joey. There's Youngster Joey around here. Did we do Youngster Joey in the last part? I don't think that we did. You know, I'm going to train Apology. Like, they might not accept it, but I think a Pidgeot or a Pidgeotto could be a valuable member of this team. I always feel Pidgeot is a Pokemon that never really lets you down. Like, it might in competitive play now, but like, in Red Blue, it's just definitely not the best Pokemon, but whenever I used it, I always felt like, well, Pidgeot's really done something. It never went down, it never just died like a punk, so I was pretty happy with it. I'm not going to attack. I really need to be more awake. So what has happened since we last recorded? Well, it's probably a good 2-3 weeks since I last recorded a part, not uploaded. And that was before I went on holiday to the Lake District in England. For those of you who don't know, the Lake District is a lovely lakey mountain part of England. They're not the biggest mountains in Europe. Like, there's a couple that have a bit of snow on them, but you know, don't go thinking like really high peaks and Swiss Alps. It's not like that, but it's a beautiful place. Like, I I'd never been there until a few years ago, and I kind of got used to thinking that England had no really beautiful places, that were a bit... Basically, we were just a bit shit. And then I went there and I was like, oh, this is actually good, this actually looks nice. So I fully recommend, if you are able to visit the Lake District, that you do so. Obviously, if you are coming from America, I would advise you go somewhere slightly more spectacular. But if you are just in the area, I definitely recommend a trip to the Lake District. And it was lovely at this time of year too. I thought it would be really cold and rainy. It rains a lot in the Lake District, as you might expect, but we had good weather, lovely autumnal colours on the mountains and the trees, and it's probably the best holiday I've ever been on. And I was disappointed to come back from it, and it was brilliant. So that's the good news. And I guess I don't really have any bad news. In fact, someone called the news I have very good, but I'm quite scared by it. So before I went to the Lake District, I applied for a job. Now, earlier this year, I'd been threatened to lose my job. Not a personal threat against me. The organisation I work for was doing a big restructure, and it looked like we all had to reapply to do the same jobs, and I was quite scared that I wouldn't be successful in reapplying for my job. But I was, in the end, and that all worked out fine. But because we had this big restructure, it meant a lot of more older employees kind of just thought, I can't be fucked reapplying for my job because the organisation were being dicks, basically. I'm guessing we haven't fought this guy down here. Yeah. You're not wearing shorts. What's wrong with you? Is this Joey? Is this youngster Joey? Or is he Gen 2 exclusive? I think he might be. Because he calls you about the top 1% of retarders. Anyway, so these older employees who'd worked for the organisation basically decided they couldn't be fucked anymore. And a lot of them found new jobs, because we had a good, 3-4 months when none of us knew if we had jobs or not. So obviously people are going to get quite twitchy in those situations and want to leave, and find a job where they know they're going to be employed. So just super speed through the Spiro, because I'm a little bit conscious that it's high level, and if it wakes up we could take some serious damage, but we get through it. And Apology goes level 5. So that left, once the restructure was over, quite a lot of vacancies, and there were vacancies above me in the chain of command. Like, my previous manager had left, and that there were now 2 vacancies at her level. And one of my colleagues who's worked in what we do for 11 years went for one of those posts, and I thought, well, fine, he's got that post, he's really good. But there was just this other post, and I was like, do I go for it? I don't really feel ready to do the job, but I don't want them to get someone shit who is also not ready to do the job, and then me to be sort of kicking myself. So I went for it, and my interview was the day I came back from holiday. Interview went alright. I thought it could have done better. I said some stupid things in interviews, but parts of it went good. I had to do a presentation, and that went pretty damn well, to be honest. But yeah, I didn't think I got it, but turns out I did get it, and now they want me to be a manager, and to manage people, and to have loads of responsibility, and to know many things. And between you and me, guys, I know nothing. So I'm very scared of these developments at work, because I never really thought of myself as a manager or the managey type. I much prefer goofing around on Pokemon, but hopefully I can still do that. But I'm gonna have to learn so much shit in the new year, so it's gonna be quite a stressful new year. So I was really looking forward to Christmas, just spending time with my family, spending time with my friends. I really value time with friends and family, and I still am looking forward to that. But I'm also going to have this thing in the pit of my stomach going shit, in January when I come back I'm going to eventually have to start being a senior figure, and I have no idea how, because I'm going to be managing people who are 20 years older than me, and I don't know how they feel about that. I don't know how I feel about that, but there you go, that's what's going to have to happen. So I have some good friends there, and I have some people I'm going to work with very closely, so hopefully that all works out. So sorry about that. That's been like 10 minutes of my life updates, and this is sort of what this LP is. It's not just my life updates. I want to know how you're doing. To be honest, because this LP is not. This is just for like the few of you who enjoy my content and enjoy watching it. And I know most of you probably prefer the Sanjeet and Nigel content, but I like being real, and I like the process of sort of getting to know each other, even though we're just through the internet, and you know, it's all that kind of slightly weird dynamic of like internet friendships, for want of a better word. But I like that kind of interaction, and I really feel privileged that, you know, even a few of you just enjoy listening to me prattle on, because I will gladly oblige the prattling, and I'm so glad the channel is back. So, as far as the channel goes with the new job, like, I don't want the new job to really affect my social life too much, like my own time. I think it will, because to a degree, because I'm gonna have to learn a lot of new stuff. Like, I work with data protection and stuff like that, and there's lots of laws around that, and I have a pretty good handle on the key ones I've needed to have a handle on, but I'm now going to have to get a handle on pretty much all of it. Ooh, we could buy a magic carp. Ooh, that's ooh. Budgeting decisions here. Like, this is my test of management already. Do I buy the magic carp? Part of me wants to, because Magikarp's cool and Gyarados is cool, but I don't think I'm gonna play with a Gyarados in this Let's Play / Nuzlocke. I just don't really like... Gyarados is cool, but I'm not in a Gyarados mood. At the moment I'm more in a Milotic mood. And however, we are gonna buy the Magikarp. There's a good reason why that. An outrageous $500. I'm not such a big fan of that. Outrageous. It's quite funny. However, it takes the magic. I'm going to call it. If you'll excuse me for being really unimaginative, I'm just going to call it magic. Because it slightly takes the magic out of the guy just tries to sell you a magic carp. Oh, jolly nature. Fuck. It's good. I prefer it when games say less. Like, I want you to figure out on your own that you've done a really bad deal there. Well, I don't give refunds. You knew what you were getting. It's still a cool joke though, that a kid will do that and will go out and use a Magikarp and all it knows is Splash. I miss the almost I'm going to use the wrong word here, the dirtiness of the Pokemon games. And I don't mean anything sexual by that, obviously, because there is nothing sexual in a Pokemon game that I know of, apart from those beauties. I'll stop talking. I mean, like, in games nowadays, I just can't imagine sort of I'm not finished with the Alola region yet. I am playing through it. I am enjoying it. I was going to say very much. I started out enjoying it very much. I don't dislike it. I do feel it's getting a little bit samey. And I'm not sure I really like the totem Pokemon, I have to say. But putting that aside, I just can't imagine buying and selling Pokemon in those games. And I think Game Freak or Nintendo deliberately sort of scaled back on this. Because it used to be the case you could get Pokemon at the Game Corner, and you can't do that now. Now it will just be TMs. In fact, the Game Corner as a whole, I think, is being slowly phased out. If I super speed this, will I die? Could die, could die, could die, could die, could die. Whoa! Ha! I probably could have. I'm not even thinking. Like, I could have caught that Mankey as another Nigel Jr. Like, it was the first Pokemon that appeared in. I think I fought something else in here, but I should have caught whatever it is I fought. Probably a Spearow. So never mind. Never mind. We'll just catch something in Mount Moon. Although I don't know if this is a Nuzlocke, so I could catch it. The rules of this LP are so not defined, guys. I'm sorry if this has been a bit of a talky, weird part. It's just I just felt like recording, but I'm probably really not in a good place to record because I've got so much on my mind, and I am, I guess, recovering from a heavy night. And you thought I was going to let that die, didn't you? But you would be wrong. You thought I was going to let Apology die there. But no, look at that. I didn't know we got that animation. Didn't know we got animations for that. There you go, cured of poisoning. I don't know if I'm playing a Nuzlocke at the moment. Nigel hasn't said. And we only have 5 more minutes in this, so... In part 4 of my previous LP, we actually made it to Cerulean City, and I've no idea how we did that. I presume I super speeded through a lot of it, didn't go around talking to everyone. Wasn't so concerned with what I was saying to you, although if you... that kind of reflects badly on me, because if you think I've been concerned in this part and I've done a bad job, then there you go. Matt Moon. I'm not making any sense, am I? Like, literally none when I'm talking. Fucking hell. Right. Ooh, water. It's been ages since I played Leaf Green. I've played Red and Blue so much, but, like, the advanced ones I think I've probably played once. And this is our Pokemon in Matt Moon. We are playing a Nuzlocke. I have decided... And this is Zubat. Not sure. Zubat is so annoying to train in the early part of the game. It's... like, Zubat might be my least favourite Pokemon to train until it becomes a Golbat. Like, I like the look of Zubat, actually. Don't get me wrong on that. It's just... I'm gonna kill the Zubat. We're not catching anything in Mount Moon. I'm sorry, guys. That is gonna be the way it is. I'm gonna give all those EVs to Pidgey. Beware, Zubat is a bloodsucker. Well, let's grab some TMs. And of course, in this gen, TMs are one use only. I feel like I've lost so many trains of thought through this LP. Like, it's just... this is how I feel at the moment. I've been told I'm getting a really big, stupid job that I don't know how to do, and it is kind of just processing that. It's only been... I've only found out for a couple of days, so it's still very new, and hopefully everything starts to settle down. We start to put some plans in place for, like, how I'm going to do it. But at the moment, I'm kind of overwhelmed. I think I was talking about how it's going to affect the channel. Yes, I was. I was saying I might have to do some more, like, reading in my own time, and might have to work slightly longer hours, only like a half hour. I did train to be a teacher at one point, if you didn't know, and that was horrendous in terms of how much work I had to do in that year, and I would never do that again. I was working 7 AM to 11 AM 7 days a week, and it's one of the reasons, there were others, why I stopped uploading, because I just couldn't do it anymore. And then after that, I kind of lost the habit of uploading. But now I am back. I am back as Sanjeet the Idiot, your favourite jester. Well, maybe not favourite, but, you know, I'm around. So I hope that it won't impact on the channel too much. Obviously, I'm going to have to prioritise my big scary job, because I do not want to fall flat on my face, and I think... while people won't be looking at me to fall on my face, I don't think people would be surprised if I did, because I'm so inexperienced and so young. But yeah, hopefully things will continue relatively okay. So there may be a slight reduction in videos, but it's just the rough with the smooth. I'm back. I'm here to stay. I want to talk about NBZ's Pokemon Adventure. I don't think I'll talk about it now, purely because I want to put it at sort of the start of a video when people are listening, because I would forgive people for tuning out of this video at 19 minutes in. If you are still here, shout out in the comments that you stayed to this point, because I will be impressed, and I will love you forever. Sexually. Well, maybe, yeah, fuck it, sexually, whatever. If you've listened this far, we can say what we want. Woohoo! Do what you like now. We've still got another antidote for apology, which is great. Thank you for bearing with me. I think I'm going to record a Sanjeet and Nigel parts really straight after this. And I think I'm going to upload those two parts pretty close to each other, because I think people prefer the Sanjeet and Nigel, and I want to give them their fix of that, as well as having 20 minutes of me whinging about my life, which is actually going pretty well if you like analyze it individually. But you know, I'm quite scared at the moment. I think it doesn't help that I'm really tired as well. As I mentioned, did drinking last night. Shall I tell you about that quickly? I don't know how long this part's going to be, only a couple more minutes. Bonus drinking story. Go. So I live in a shared house at the moment with 3 other people, and they're very nice people actually. I lived here for a year now, and it wasn't always the case that we had nice people, but the annoying ones have moved out, really cool ones have moved in. One of them's English, 2 of them are Spanish. It's really lovely to have that sort of mesh of cultures, and I feel really pleased to be living with people from other cultures, other parts of the world, because these days I feel that's going to be a more rare thing. But let's not get into that. We all know that dickhead in the White House. Not yet. Thinkabar's still there, but you know who I mean. He's quite the wanker. Just put the knives to the head. So the drinking story. So, but despite us all being nice and despite us all getting on, we never really did anything like as a group in their house. We're just crap at organising stuff. So we managed to organise a little Christmas decoration day. So we went to like Poundland. Poundland, for those of you who don't know, is a shop in the UK which sells everything for £1. Actually, Poundland doesn't sell everything for £1. I think that's Pound World or something. Pound Saver. I don't even know. But one shop sells everything for £1. Poundland doesn't do that, but most things are £1, and a few things are a little bit more. So we went to like Poundland and other cheap shops, and we bought loads of Christmas decorations, and we just decorated the whole flat, and that was really good. And from there, we decided we would have a Secret Santa last night, and we had a limit of £3 to spend. But we would also drink mulled wine and various other Christmas drinks. So, but before that, I had to go to a work Christmas drink thing, or Christmas meal. And I shouldn't really be leaving the Nige in against this level 14 fairy. Honestly, it's a wonder things haven't died in this part, but they didn't. They didn't die. Have that, Sanjit and Nigel. Have that in your hole. Don't do that. Anyway, so I went to this work Christmas dinner. I had a few drinks there. Just some wine, really, watered down with lemonade. And then I came back to my house about 8 o'clock to do the Secret Santa. And we did Secret Santa, and we had mulled wine. Sorry, I was trying to remember what I got in the Secret Santa. It took me like 5 minutes. It's not really worth mentioning. I got a mug in the Secret Santa, for those of you completionists who in this bonus weird drunken story want all the details. We had mulled wine, and it turned out 2 Spaniards had not had mulled wine before, and one of them didn't like it, so I ended up having his glass. And then we had mulled cider, and then the other Spaniard didn't like it, so I had her glass of mulled cider. And then we had ginger wine, and then we played a drinking game. I don't know how many of you have played Ring of Fire. You essentially have a glass on the floor or on a table if you're more civilized. We were not civilized. And you put a deck of cards around it, and you pick up a different card, and then the card corresponds to sort of a certain action, and most of these actions require you to take a drink. And yeah, we ended up in a karaoke bar, and I remember very little of this. So I wish there was like more. I wish there was more detail I could flesh out to the story, but yeah, I got pretty wasted. But it was all fine. No one vomited. No one died. No one did anything that they regret that I know of. There could be a video on another YouTube channel of some crazy shit I did that I have no idea about, but I do not think so. So that was the special bonus round, story of bonus of my night last night. It's probably wasn't that interesting, really. Probably this whole video wasn't that interesting. I said leave a shout out if you got to like 19 minutes or something. Leave a shout out if you got to the full 25, which is what this video is going to be. The moment this Zubat is dead, we are calling it a part, and it will be for Sanjit and for Nigel to take this further. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. This part hasn't been the best one. I've given you a lot of detail about my life. If you want to share a detail about your life, do so in the comments, but you probably don't like to overshare like I do. I'm just going to stop, and we'll see if Sanjeet and Nigel have better luck in making an entertaining YouTube video for you all. I have been Sanjeet the Idiot's normal voice, and I will see you anon. And if I don't have another part up before Christmas from me, have a really good Christmas, guys. I really mean that. It's a lovely time of the year if you've got people to be with, and if you don't, then watch as many Sanjeet and Nigel videos as you want, because things will get better for you. Alright, cheerio people, bye bye.